No, this is not the boot of the latest small car, it's the center console in this Ram 2500. Everything is just a bit bigger. The engine is almost 400 HP, the tires aren't the greatest, but that doesn't matter, the engine makes up for that. It takes me to wherever I want to go. Welcome to America. Of course, this is a completely different format than what we are used to from the European pickups. You notice it immediately by the seats. It's more of an armchair. Here in the middle I have a large storage space. Here I can turn on the four-wheel drive on the side, and the switch for the automatic gearbox is on the steering column assembly.
Are you looking for just that little bit extra? We are already pretty familiar with the relationship America, whereby we should actually restrict ourselves here to the USA, and supersize. But what remains to be seen is how super American cars really are. But it's undeniable that they also have their fans in Europe. This brand new and fire red Ram 2500 gets its power from the 5.7 litre Jaime V8 petrol engine. Well, we might just sweep that piece of information under the carpet for now for all those Europeans who like to keep an eye on consumption, and instead immerse ourselves completely in the American way of driving life. Who needs all those boring figures when it's so comfortable to cruise over the terrain? As our tester already noticed, with this torque, even the tyres, which are not really off-road ones, aren't a problem in this case. And when it comes to the weight, the Ram alone, unloaded and without the flatbed, is already a pretty hefty 2.67 tonnes. There, the lightweight construction manufacturers from Berlin had to tinker about quite a bit to leave room for the payload up to the 3.5 tonne limit. It ultimately ended up at 340 kilograms, thanks to the carbon cabin, which has a weight of 480 kilograms, including the interior, technology and tanks.
In order to save another 25 kilos, the car hood was reconstructed out of carbon fibers. Here it is, the 5.7 litre V8. There's a lot of power to get you going there.
It's also noticeable how well the weight distribution has been done. You hardly notice the cabin when you're on the road, despite the exterior dimensions of almost 6 metres long and over 2 metres wide.
This missile is naturally somewhat larger than you are normally used to, but I still have to say the vehicle is pretty easily managed. The cabin at the back is a neat fit with the driver's cab, and I have excellent visibility behind. Naturally there are these wide mirrors. It is really comfortable.
This is also due to the fact that the Berlin cabin builders have come up with quite a few tricks to make life as pleasant as possible for the traveller.
Although the door and entry step, which I can fold inside, are practical, one disadvantage is that if it's just been raining, all the muck gets everywhere. You can see it's already dripping down here. But because the shower base is located with the drain right next to it, I can simply swipe it in here and the problem is solved. While the color scheme is on the extravagant side, the color reminds the owner of a vintage car he has at home. The interior layout is rather conventional. There's a very large kitchenette here, and there's the seating area and one permanently installed bed in the rear, and the storage space here at the front is also pretty generous. If there's anyone who can't manage to stow all the baggage here, They have definitely brought along too much. You can already see from the table that the off-road Leichtbaumanufaktur have used carbon fiber for everything. Absolutely everything you see here, except for the upholstery, is made of laminate carbon fiber. You notice that everything is very light. It is then painted, and there are no lack of clever details. Here the wardrobe, for example. You can assume that I'd be putting my underwear in there. This was intended to fulfill two opposing wishes: a snug connection to the driver's cabin on the one hand, and on the other a bed with a width of 1.95 meters. This was only able to be resolved by making the cabin 10 centimeters wider at the rear, so care is needed for tight driveways.
Apart from that, the appearance is a success. Nevertheless, it took a huge effort to achieve it. The vehicle manufacturers built a prototype on a scale of 1:1 to make sure that everything really fitted together perfectly in the end.
This cabin that is only 280 centimeters long really holds everything that a larger van would have. A solid entrance at the front and a bathroom. I have to bang it a bit. And then I have a large shower and a toilet at the front here.
And the toilet lid is, you've guessed it, naturally made of carbon.
And as if there wasn't enough storage space inside, there's an extra 970 liters of space here at the rear. That's enough room to fit in some larger items.
The Ram from the lightweight manufacturer is a very well designed car, which naturally comes at a price. It cost around 170,000 euros to develop and convert. Added together with the 45,000 euros for the basic vehicle makes this a lot of money. But it's pretty obvious that you don't decide to buy a Ram based on your wallet, but instead according to your heart. Perfect if you are looking for just that little bit extra. You can also read about the detailed test drive in the Explorer 6 2018. And here in our YouTube channel, you can also find other pickups that are perhaps a little bit more toned down than the US American.